When you step onto an airplane today, one of the first things you notice is the glowing seatback screen, or the Wi-Fi symbol reminding you that even at 35,000 feet, the world is at your fingertips. You can choose from hundreds of movies, listen to playlists, play games, or even stream your favorite series. But this wasn't always the case. For much of aviation history, passengers sat in silence, staring out of the window or flipping through a book. The idea of entertainment in the skies had to be invented, tested, and reimagined over decades. And American Airlines played one of the most important roles in shaping how the world experiences in-flight entertainment. To understand the story, we need to go back to the beginning of the jet age. By the 1950s, commercial air travel was no longer reserved for the wealthy elite. The post-war economic boom meant more people could afford tickets, and airlines were locked in fierce competition. Flying was glamorous, passengers dressed in suits and dresses, or served gourmet meals on silver trays. And flight attendants walked the aisles with a sense of style and prestige. But there was still a problem: the long hours. A cross-country flight could take half a day, and passengers often complained of boredom. Airlines quickly realized that comfort and entertainment could be just as important as safety and speed. The earliest experiments with in-flight entertainment came in the 1960s. In 1961, Trans World Airlines introduced a projector system that played the movie By Love Possessed on a flight from New York to Los Angeles. It was a simple but groundbreaking moment. For the first time, passengers could watch a feature-length film in the sky. American Airlines executives were paying attention. They saw that the future of passenger service would not just be about getting people from one place to another, but about how enjoyable the journey itself could be. By the late 1960s and early 1970s, American Airlines was installing film projectors on its wide-body jets like the DC-10 and the Boeing 747. The movies were projected onto large pull-down screens at the front of the cabin. It wasn't private, and if you didn't like the film, too bad, you had no choice but to sit through it or look away. But still, for many passengers, it was magical. Flying at 600 miles per hour, crossing the continent while watching a Hollywood film, felt like something out of science fiction. Families, children, and business travelers alike would huddle together in the dimly lit cabin as the projector whirred. The life, of course, these early systems weren't perfect. The projectors were bulky, the film reels could break, and sometimes the sound crackled through the overhead speakers. But the idea had taken root. Entertainment in the skies was no longer a gimmick, it was becoming an expectation. By the 1980s, technology was moving fast. American Airlines saw an opportunity to upgrade the flying experience even further. Instead of just offering one movie for the entire cabin, they began installing individual audio jacks at each seat. Passengers were given lightweight headphones and could plug in to select from a handful of audio channels. There might be a channel for classical music, another for pop hits, one for news, and even stand-up comedy recordings. For the first time, flying felt personal. Instead of being forced into a shared experience, passengers could shape their own journey, even if it was limited to a small set of audio options. This was an era when cassette tapes and Walkmans were still popular on the ground. For passengers, being able to tune into music through the seat's audio system felt like being part of something modern, something advanced. Airlines, including American, advertised these features heavily in their magazines and commercials. They weren't just selling a ticket, they were selling an experience. The real revolution came in the 1990s and early 2000s. With the introduction of personal seatback screens, American Airlines began outfitting its international fleet with small televisions embedded into the back of each seat. Suddenly, passengers had choices like never before. They could pick from a selection of movies, television episodes, documentaries, and even video games. Long-haul flights, once dreaded for their endless hours of monotony, were now opportunities to catch up on films or enjoy a few rounds of Tetris at 35,000 feet. Children were especially captivated by this new technology. For parents traveling across the Atlantic or Pacific, the ability to keep kids occupied with cartoons or movies was a lifesaver. Business travelers, meanwhile, could unwind with a film after a long day of meetings. For many, these seatback systems represented not just entertainment, but a new kind of comfort and control in the air. But American Airlines wasn't done yet. In 2008, they became the first U.S. airline to launch commercial in-flight Wi-Fi. On a flight from New York to Los Angeles, passengers could for the first time open their laptops, connect to the internet, and check emails as if they were still on the ground. It was a moment that forever changed what it meant to be in the air. Business travelers no longer had to go offline for hours at a time. Families could stay in touch. Students could do homework. The world was connected, even above the clouds. Of course, in those early days, the service wasn't perfect. The speeds were slow, the prices were high, and only certain aircraft were equipped with the system. But just like the movie projectors decades earlier, the foundation had been laid. Wi-Fi in the sky was no longer science fiction, it was reality. As the 2010s rolled in, technology advanced rapidly. American Airlines partnered with satellite providers to upgrade to high-speed internet. Passengers could now stream movies, join video calls, and scroll through social media mid-flight. The once isolated cabin had become a fully connected space. At the same time, American invested in expanding its digital library. Instead of just a few dozen movies, passengers now had hundreds to choose from, along with full seasons of television series, curated playlists, podcasts, and even live TV on some flights. What made American's approach unique was its willingness to adapt. While some airlines stuck to seatback screens, American began shifting toward a bring-your-own-device model on many domestic routes. Instead of watching on a small screen in the seat, passengers could stream entertainment directly onto their own tablets, laptops, or phones. The airline created an app that gave access to movies and shows for free. Once connected to the onboard Wi-Fi, it was a bold move, controversial to some, but it reflected a changing world, where passengers were already carrying powerful screens in their pockets. Today, American Airlines offers one of the largest in-flight entertainment platforms in the world. On international long-haul flights, the seatback screens remain, often in full HD with touchscreen controls and USB charging ports. On domestic flights, streaming to personal devices is the norm, with a wide variety of content that rivals most streaming services on the ground. In 2022, American even announced partnerships with Apple Music, allowing passengers to stream music for free during flights. The airline has also invested heavily in satellite-based internet to ensure that connectivity is not just available, but fast and reliable across its entire fleet. The journey from a single film projected on a screen in the 1970s to a fully connected, personalized entertainment system today is more than just a story about technology. It's a story about how airlines like American understood the psychology of travel. They knew that people don't just want to get from point A to point B, they want to feel comfortable, engaged, and even inspired during the journey. Think about it. A business traveler flying from Dallas to London might watch a movie after dinner, check emails mid-flight, and then stream relaxing music before falling asleep. A family flying from Miami to Los Angeles might each pick their own entertainment, kids watching cartoons, parents enjoying comedies or dramas. A college student might binge a TV series all the way across the country. All of these experiences are possible because of decades of innovation and vision. For American Airlines, entertainment has never been just about distraction. It has been about creating a sense of hospitality in the sky, about transforming the cabin into a space where passengers feel at home. In many ways, it has shaped the culture of air travel itself. Without entertainment, long flights would feel endless. With it, hours can pass in what feels like minutes. The story isn't finished either. As new technologies emerge, virtual reality, augmented reality, faster satellite connections, the future of in-flight entertainment is likely to become even more immersive. American Airlines, with its legacy of firsts, is almost certain to play a role in shaping that future. Perhaps in another decade, passengers won't just watch movies, they might step into them through VR headsets or stream in real-time holographic calls with loved ones back on the ground. From the flickering light of a film projector in the 1970s to the seamless Wi-Fi connections of today, American Airlines has been at the forefront of keeping passengers entertained, connected, and comfortable. It is a reminder that flying is not just about altitude and speed. It is about the human experience of being suspended between two worlds, and how technology can make that journey more enjoyable. And so, the next time you board an American Airlines flight, take a moment to look at the screen in front of you, or open the app on your phone, or connect to the Wi-Fi. What seems ordinary today is the result of decades of innovation, vision, and persistence. It is the story of how American Airlines helped turn the skies into not just a place of travel, but a place of entertainment, connection, and possibility.